Well, I'd mentioned I thought that I was going to have this big, awesome webinar, and we can still have the conversation to go through a lot of the numbers, not to quote analytical or technical numbers, but more like the compensation plan numbers to make everything real for you. Simply because it's a conversation that I find myself having a lot with a lot of people, and as we have the conversation, it seems like a light bulb goes off and everything's cool. However. For those of you who've been in the community before, you've seen this happen. One back, I don't know, shoot, probably what, May or June or something. Everything was going along great, and when the Nickelback song uh, something's got to go wrong because it's feeling way too daggone good. Well, we just had a database crash, so we're going to be down. Our website will be down. Archer says about two. He said two or three, but I just discovered for him where the database is. So right now he is reconfiguring that. So we do have all these backup files and everything. We just have to now to go through the process on the cPanel, what's called restore. So I do apologize. It's kind of embarrassing to be hosting a webinar where we're talking about restoring databases. So blah blah blah, right? So I do apologize for that, but we are working on it. But you're just going to have to be patient for about 2 or 3 hours. Unfortunately, sometimes these things happen. I've already cussed out our website hosting company, and it sounds like we might have to move. We're paying an ungodly amount of money. And our database isn't even that huge. It's pretty big. I mean, simply because we just got a lot of members, but I simply just don't know what has happened. But I know that I can fix it, and therefore I know that Archer can fix it as well. So if that is going to be a long, drawn-out process here with Archer, I'm going to keep tabs on his progress here as we talk. But nevertheless, so it's obviously of most importance to me, so we might even have to cut tonight short, obviously. So just in a conversational kind of way, I want to really quickly. So in other words, I guess my point is here is Chicken Little, the sky is not falling. We'll be back in just 2 or 3 hours. So just please be patient. And believe me, it stresses me out a lot more than any of you. And the question says from Neil Cooperman. He says, Neil asks, and I don't really appreciate this, Neil. It says 2 or 3 hours or days? Just hours, my friend. It's not, I don't know what you're really talking about, but we're okay. That's just stressing me out, believe me. Anyway, so that being the case, let's just pretend that we're going to fast forward in time a few hours here, and the website there is no problems or issues, and that everybody's see sunshine and roses again. Obviously, today was like one of those cool days. Yesterday was a great cool day, too. I mean, our Wake Up to Success calls are just absolutely phenomenal. I have such a good, fun time on them. And when it comes to like these webinars on Tuesday night, we've got a very special guest that'll be joining us for our performance coaching series. He is an author, speaker, trainer. Man, the guy is just absolutely phenomenal. I won't kind of give you too much details because it's shocking. Most people were probably just like myself and had never heard of this. His name's Wally. Might not have ever heard of Wally in the past, but Wally is absolutely phenomenal. The story that he comes from, man, is just going from literally nothing, and I mean nothing, to literally manifesting a $20 million business in only about a year. And this was when he came from literally nothing to a multi-million-dollar business in less than a year. And like I said, he's an author, speaker, trainer, and just phenomenal. He's not in network marketing, but as far as a performance coach or these secrets that he has for turning everything around so fast is just absolutely phenomenal. And it's a story that absolutely deserves to be shared. He's just the nicest guy. And from what I hear, I've got an autographed copy of his book on the way. So I'm very excited about that. So he'll be joining us on Tuesday night at 8:30. That being the case, I'm really excited for where our wake-up calls have been going as well. as you may have heard me mention if you've attended the last two, we've got Mark Hoverson and Ray Higdon coming up to join us over the next week. But then it doesn't stop. I mean, it just continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's a weird thing to suggest, but there's literally a wake up or a waiting list for the wake up calls and now our webinars. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, um, let's see. Give me a second. Anil says it's okay, Jason. Stuff like this happens. We're all still behind you. Thanks. I mean, yeah, I had no control over that. All right. RC says I've tried to figure out how to change my credit card as the one I put in is the wrong one, and I don't want to have my account deleted when I try. It just says I'm already active. Thank you, RC, and you're absolutely correct. And a lot of people have had this problem. And before we get into the numbers of the compensation plan and how to make this real, make it very personal for you, that's a great question that I will just take and address. Right now, you're not able to change your credit card number, and you know what? This is honesty and transparency. We should have designed this into the system in the beginning. We've already brought it up to the his name's Darius with First Data, and he's already working on it, and I think he's pretty much done. It doesn't sound like it's going to be that complicated. We just have to, the actual mechanical process of doing it. But clearly there's a security process that goes along with it. And I think that's the part that we're just kind of have to be slow and deliberate about. It all has to get approved from higher channels. But nevertheless, it is something that we do have a 4-day from now deadline on, and so that will be resolved. So you will be able to, RC, change your credit card number, but right now we can't, and it's not our fault. I'll be honest with you. It's not that I'm passing the responsibility along. It was one of those things where I guess we just didn't look with First Data. I mean, you've got Network Marketing BT kind of partnering up with First Data with this E4 Global Gateway. So we just need to be able to figure that out, and when that happens, yes, you will be able to change that credit card. Let's see. You mentioned about, okay, this is a great question as well. And we're going to get into the compensation plan and the numbers here in just a second, but I am answering these questions. You mentioned about the ACH direct deposit option for India the other day. Can you please tell me more about it and explain how to set it up? Excellent question. Yes, right now we have the MasterCards going out, the exclusive Network Marketing BT MasterCard. We also, because the company that we're partnered with, which is called Payoneer, they also have an option for ACH direct deposit, which is pretty cool. So you can get the NMVT MasterCard in the future, or you'll be able to choose just the ACH direct deposit. Now, this is another thing that we just didn't anticipate, was that India was not, some places in India cannot receive the MasterCard either because of the banking system, and I talked to our account manager with Payoneer about this the other day, and it's also because of a physical delivery problem. A lot of people in the world obviously have just physical delivery problems. They don't live in the US and Canada where they have a reliable mail service, and I don't know all the instances with, in India for every particular person, but Payoneer does have what's called the ACH direct deposit option. So for example, a lot of people in the Philippines have been rather discouraged about the time that it's going to take to get their card in their hand. So we're going to enable the direct deposit option as well. And if you've got just a banking account with a routing number and a checking account number, you can just be set up right away. So that doesn't, regardless of how long it takes you to actually get the MasterCard, it doesn't affect the rate at which we can pay your commissions. It's not like we're going to hold them, but if you don't have the MasterCard in your hand, like what good is it, right? So therefore, we're just going to go ahead and enable the ACH direct deposit option. It's going to cost us some money, but nevertheless, that's what we're going to do. Okay, here's a question from Linnell. It says, Jason, you just rock plain and simple. Thank you. That's pretty cool. You do so much for the NMV team. No worries about the crash. We're all going to hang in there. Well, good. You should. And be fine. Yes, you will. That's awesome. I have never felt more comfortable in a program with this one. Thank you. Great people, great leader. You're too easily impressed, as I always say. Just like you made me promise you, I will be earning six figures a year in 6 months. Way less if I have anything to say about it. Linnell, thank you for bringing all that up. And yes, everything's going to be cool. I was kind of nervous when we first come on the line, but now that we're all here together, it's all good. And Archer just sent me a message saying that it is working. So that doesn't mean the site's up, but he says he's good to go. And again, I've had this problem with many websites in the past. I mean, I've done dozens of websites, and I've had this problem many times, and I was a little bit frustrated with Archer not knowing how to deal with this, but nevertheless, it's not the end of the world. Anyway, but Linnell, you bring up a great point of earning. Let me just read. I will be earning six figures a year in less than 6 months. Way less if I have anything to say about it. I'm glad you brought that up, Linnell, and I'm going to talk more about that in just a second. On the payment page, can you make it a secure page? Curtis, it is. It already is a secure page. We do have a dedicated SSL certificate on that. We pay a lot of money for it, and it's absolutely PCI compliant. All of that stuff has to be PCI compliant. If you want me to provide backups and restores, I can do that for $20 per backup and one free restore. Curtis, my friend, get with me right after this webinar. Absolutely, just in case we need it. I appreciate your offer, my friend, and I will absolutely put you to work right now. Okay, move fast and break wings. That's the way it goes when you're growing freaking new ground. Totally true, man. Totally true. And the fact of the matter is, I kind of noticed this issue back with the database back a couple weeks ago when the webinar itself, there's a lot of traffic going to the webinar all at once. And in fact, it was before we actually, we kind of revealed the new website and then put up the webinar kind of thingy when we had the glitches and stuff. And I kind of noticed that weak-ass database issue when we had a lot of traffic going to that webinar, knowing that database wasn't that big, and it was just never really totally stable. So thank you for bringing that up, Mark, and it's disappointing to me. Anyway, Zara says, so glad to hear the ACH can be sent directly to our bank account for the Philippines. Yep, thank you, Jason. You're awesome. Absolutely. And exactly, that's the type of market that it serves. Most people do not understand. They don't have the understanding that network marketing VT is as large as it is. Let me just point up this. And then again, we're going to discuss numbers in the compensation plan. I'm going to make this very meaningful for you. And I want to show Linnell how if she waits 6 months to even think that it's a six-figure income, it's way too long, right? I mean, I'm going to give you the secret strategy to how to do this like right now. But people don't understand how big of a company network marketing in it is in all the countries and markets we serve. Number one, we've seen people, we're clearly familiar with people in the Philippines in our Facebook group. We've seen people come into that group this week from Kenya, Nigeria, etc. Those are big markets for us. India. People don't understand, for the most part, that at one point India, man, had like not only the fastest growing team in this country or in this company, but it was like the doubly fast. It was like growing much faster than anyone. I never will forget the time, man, when I was presenting on a live stream teleconference or like a video to a room full. It was literally they were having a hotel meeting, okay, and this was in Nigeria. They were having a hotel meeting, and it was like 300 people in this place, man, and they were all getting signed up with NMVT at the same exact time. And what was so humbling to me, or just like made me, I felt so bad. I felt grateful. I mean, it was a rush of so many different emotions, man. But the police actually came into that room, into that meeting, and they broke that meeting up. 300 people, and here I was like on this video, and the reason is that that country was not going to allow that many dollars and whatever their local currency was to be transferred all over the world, even though it's kind of member-to-member payments and stuff. They were not going to allow any of that money to get online and take a risk of leaving the country. You know what I'm saying? So that was weird. But the point is that it illustrates, you've got a lot of people in this community that you may not be aware of. In fact, please keep this in mind. A lot of people might be on this webinar, for example, and you might, Vince says, well, I'm glad to know we're PCI compliant. That is awesome. We need to put this on our website. It's a selling point. Vince, dude, everything has to be PCI compliant. I mean, anytime that you have e-commerce at all, you have to have PCI compliance, or else you're just not, you just open up yourself to so many vulnerabilities, man. It's just not worth the hassle. You can pay, you know, $50 for most small little websites and get a security certificate. So it's just, it's obviously just peace of mind. But again, getting back to just, let's talk about frame of reference and perspective. Right now on this webinar, we've got, you're just going to have to take my word on this, a lot more people than what will ever be active in that mastermind group on Facebook for Network Marketing VT. So a lot of people, for example, that are in that mastermind group, you have to pay attention to the old saying is that you get what you focus on. Well, so here's the, and this has a point, and I'm going to elaborate on this just a minute. And again, we're going to get into some numbers, so stick with me just for a second. And hopefully, maybe, you know, if that database isn't up very soon, I'm going to get off this webinar and go back and help Archer, simply because it's not that complicated. So, yeah, so the people that are in this group, this is something that I really want to talk about. Watch the negativity. Okay, watch the, do not, there's no ever reason to be negative at all. Like if you have a glitch or something, number one, ask, is this something that I can just send an email to support at Network Marketing VT? Is this best served for that? Simply because if you post your technical glitches on there, and they're, especially if they're minor, okay, I mean, hell, even, I don't really know that, I mean, clearly we're at like a critical point, and it appears much more major than it is. I mean, but you, like for example, the bleeding over text in the back office, right? Like if you don't think that we're not aware of that type of stuff, like after it's posted one time for 5 minutes, I mean, you would be mistaken, right? Uh, we've got enough. I'm connected with enough people on Skype, for example, that people Skype the hell out of me. They'll text message me, they'll email me, they'll post it in Facebook. I mean, I get it. But you have to understand is that when it's a Skype message to me, when it's an email, when it's a phone call, a text message, whatever, okay, that is coming to me or someone. You know, Archer gets a lot of those, and you know, other just people, administrative assistants and such. They get those. That's cool. When you post it on Facebook, however, you have to understand that that is the primary mission of that mastermind group is to mastermind. Okay, it's great to welcome new people. It shows them a sense of community that you just can't duplicate with any place. But a mastermind group is outlined by Napoleon Hill in 1937 in the book Think and Grow Rich of chapter 10. Okay, so this is very meaningful to me. It's chapter 10 of Think and Grow Rich, first published by Napoleon Hill in 1937. It says that the mastermind is the mutual driving force of where real powers come together. It's when two or more people come together harmoniously with a synchronistic mission and vision, so that real partnerships are aligned and formed where 1 + 1 is much, much greater than 2. In other words, the sum of the parts is, the sum of the parts is much greater than the whole. Okay, the sum of the parts is much greater than the whole. So it's called mastermind group for a reason. Now, that means if you have, and it's not to suggest that, like, say, I'm having problems with Aweber, can someone help me out on what the import code is or the campaign code? It's not to go in there and bitch and tell your story. You know what I'm saying? It's not to go in there and talk about how hard your life is. It serves no one. It doesn't serve you, much less anybody else. Don't make your problems everybody else's problems. And so just keep that in mind from now on. The Facebook group for the mastermind should be used for masterminding. And if you don't know what a mastermind is, chapter 10 of Think and Grow Rich should be the Bible for that group. It makes everyone better. Okay, if you're not making everyone better, you're not doing it right. A mastermind is not a place to get. Okay, please remember this. A mastermind is not a place to get. A mastermind is only a place to give. If you're not giving in that group, you're not using it as powerfully as it's going to be. No one gives a damn about your problems except for you and me, right? I'll get you hooked up and I'll get you straightened out and fixed up. But it serves no purpose when you've got Linnell, for example, dropping, say, congratulate, welcome to blah, blah, blah. And she said, please go through the about steps above and get everybody started. And everybody goes, welcome, welcome, welcome. That is awesome. For that one person that just got dropped into that new group, that makes all the difference in the world. That is huge. I mean, imagine. I mean, somebody's going to drop you into a strange little place, and everybody's going to come up and do a big group hug on you. It's kind of like overwhelmingly weird, huh? Because it's like, this is okay. I think I'm gonna like it here. What is that? Annie. I bet you didn't think I'd be singing Annie tonight, did you? I think I'm gonna like it here. Um, yeah, so Mastermind Group, man. Mastermind Chapter 10 of Think and Grow Rich. It's a place to give, not to get. So if you got problems, send an email to either admin or support at Network Marketing VT. A lot of you, we're connected on Skype. Go to your sponsor. If you've got AWeber problems, you probably ain't the first person to ever have AWeber problems. So just your sponsor, for example, can help you out. Now, um, let me just throw this out there as well. If you're emailing me on Facebook, which about 5,000 of you are, I probably am not going to be able to respond. They all just get lost. I mean, I get so many emails on Facebook. I do not do customer support on Facebook. I'm sorry to tell you this. We do get all of your emails at admin and support at networkmarketingvt.com. And we see them there in the Facebook group, and other people pass them around. But you just have to understand, I'm going to get overwhelmed, and I'm not going to do it. I can't. Sometimes if I have to step away, that's why we have other people to help out, right? But if you send me an email on Facebook, then that only says that I have to do that. I have a business to run, okay? Meaning there's lawyers, banks, there's obviously web hosts, there's employees, there's a lot of other affiliates besides you. There is just eating and taking a shower, for example. And if I just spend all my time on Facebook, I'm married to Facebook, and I refuse. Absolutely. There's no price of glory worth it to be married to Facebook. I don't even really like Facebook, okay? And I've made no mention bones about that. So just please understand that if you're trying to connect with me on Facebook through email, I'm sorry, but I have to draw the line somewhere. I can't, whatever. Linda writes, a mastermind only works if everyone has the same goals and visions too. Absolutely. Curtis writes, get a punching bag if you want to vent, but don't do it on Facebook. And then there's also another comment. Also, The Science of Getting Rich is a great book. I agree. Let's see. Thank you for hitting on the negative posts in the group, Jason. The mastermind principle is powerful. Thank you, my friend. I won't mention your name because I noticed that in the past you were very active in the group, and maybe not so much recently. And it's true. The negative stuff in that group just drives people away. No one gives a shit, people, really, including me. So, I want to help you out, and I'm going to help you. But Carla writes, hey, Jason, a lot of people have been and are being told all tech issues on the NMVT site. That's not true. I actually mentioned that one time when we were having like initial testing issues with downlines, if you recall. It was just a very streamlined place for us to look at all of these downline issues, and that's all. That was like on day one. So maybe that's because we opened up Pandora's box, and a lot of the new folks have kind of hijacked it. But no more, just no more. So let's make it a mastermind group. Let's use it as a way to throw our arms around new people and to sincerely assist and serve other people, a place to give, not to get. That's a mastermind group is a place, like Linda writes, with all people coming together with one vision, one mission, one purpose. And that is to change lives. It is to change lives. And it has nothing to do with you. Okay? From now on, I just want this mentality completely erased out of this company. Nothing has anything to do with you. It's all about other people, right? Seriously, it's always about other people. Thank you for saying it because it really affects a lot of people. All techie concerns should be submitted to the trouble ticket. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yep. So obviously people are resonating. Okay, Don says, do you think you could have that compensation conversation tonight you mentioned earlier? Yes. Let's talk about it now. So it's important to understand a lot of people that get into these network marketing companies, like what Network Marketing BT is, and they have this what I call the take over the world mentality. They want to just go absolutely crazy on getting as many people as they possibly can on their front line. I'm talking like thousands, right? And then it's so short-sighted. I can't begin to tell you how short-sighted that is. It just over the long term. I mean, the last thing that any of you want, trust me, is to be surrounded by 1,000 people like all of a sudden. There's just because I'm going to be very presumptuous and suggest that no one on this webinar has the means or the foundational aspects or the experience or whatever the systems in place for dealing with 1,000 people on their team right now, right? But before I talk about the numbers, I got one more thing to mention for the people that the negativity in that group is affecting. When I talk about negativity, it's I'm not suggesting it's your fault. You don't even know it, okay? It's just noise. It's distraction. Please pay attention. There's only two things that's going to make you any type of money in any business. I don't give a damn what business it is, but it's generating a lead. In other words, doing the actual marketing that generates leads, and it's making the sales. Everything else is a distraction. Please understand that, okay? So with that group, but it's also important of putting it in frame of reference. Please note that although we all see it as negative, even though we don't even participate, you only see like the same 25 people in that group. It's the same 25 people bitching and moaning. It's the same 25 people, and you'll see the same people dropping their people in the group to get them the support, while other people are bitching and moaning. Other people are out there making money. You see what I'm saying? And that Facebook group, it's only got like 1,000+ people in there. You got to understand, guys, that is a tiny, tiny fraction of the people that are actually in this company. And I already know that some teams are like doing very, very well, and they're not dropping their people in that because of the negativity, right? So a lot of us are aware of the fact that we get what we focus on. So if you're in that group and an active participant, you better be
It's
very
9
aware
o'clock.
that if you go into that group and you see a bunch of people posting tech problems, all that's going to go in your mind over and over and over is there's tech problems, tech problems, tech problems. Tech. It's just not true. I mean, you're talking about the same 20 people that's just posting that over and over. That's it. Then there's even 1,000 in that group. So, and it certainly doesn't affect, you know, the other 25,000 or so that ain't in that group. Anyway, you get my point. Just keep everything in perspective. Now let's talk about some numbers. And in a way that personally, if knowing what I now know, okay, there's this question that was posed to the expert of experts panel at No Excuse, and it says, knowing what you now know, what would you go back and do differently? Well, here's how I'm going to answer that as it relates to making money with network marketing BT. And to get people like Linnell into the six-figure incomes fast, not even taking 6 months to do it. In fact, we can do this in like a week, maybe even a day. Again, I talked about this last Thursday. If you have not done last Tuesday's exercise of the business and marketing plan, that comes first. What you're going to discover is that it's very congruent with what Mia gave you today. So you don't have to even take my word for it anymore. I don't care if you're going to be a social media video mogul or a network marketer. First things first, you got to get clear, right? Starting to make sense to you now? So you don't have to take Jason's advice. You can take Mia's now and go do that exercise from last Tuesday. You don't have to take Mia's advice if you don't want to. Take Brian Swan's advice and create your perfect day. Any of you download that exercise, create your perfect day from Brian? What was it? Clarity on a vision, wasn't it? And then getting emotionally attached to that and creating the results. So the first exercise is Tuesday, and then Thursday we talked about creating a six-figure income in 30 days or less starting from scratch. Six-figure income in 30 days or less starting from scratch. All of that exercise was very simple and easily duplicatable. Anyone can do that. Very few will. It sucks. because it's a six-figure income from 30 days starting from scratch. Very few will do it because because it's still information that they have not given any meaning in their life. They have had no emotional connection with that information because you've not done the first two exercises. Now the information I want to give you in addition to that is how to make the compensation plan real for you in another way. Okay? Six-figure income in 30 days starting from scratch. And in fact, I'm going to suggest to you that I do not even need 30 days. I just need 1 day to do this. Now, please understand something. I'm not suggesting to make $100,000 in 1 day. Okay? What I'm suggesting is to create a six-figure income in 1 day. How do we do that? I've said this a million times. How much is $100,000 per year? Like, what does my daily income have to be with $100,000 per year? $277 per day, 7 days a week. $277 a day, 7 days a week. Because we have recurring residual income in this company, that means if I were to do just $277 a day, straight up today, $277 tomorrow, $277 the next day, $277 the day after that, I've got a six-figure income as long as I'm consistently earning $277 a day. Now, how many sales is that with Network Marketing VT? Three $98 payments per day. That's all I need. $398 per day. So we can run these numbers in a lot of different ways, but let's just say that I get started and on my first day, okay, I get 4 people enrolled on a free offer. There's like 4, how in the hell are you going to get 4? Tom Weeks ran a solo ad yesterday and got 4 people. That is a pretty average number. Okay, and he didn't spend a lot of money on that. He not only broke even, but turned out to be very good ROI. So imagine if you have just a little bit more tolerance for financial risk, quote unquote, and I think he only got, I don't know, a few hundred hits or something. I can't remember. But imagine if you doubled that and you got 8. You get my point. It's not hard to get 4. Okay, he just ran a solo ad and got 4 right off the bat. But let's say that's his only 4 he ever sold. That's the only 4 sales. That's the only solo ad he ever ran in his entire business existence. Okay, so Tom is not going to make any more sales himself ever. Okay, how many people does he have on his team? He made 4 sales. He's got 3. Passed his second one up, right? So now he's got 3. Did he do now? Is Tom making as of today an annualized six-figure income? Yep, pretty much, because that's 3 sales, 277 a day. What is the fastest way then that we can get these people in profit? Well, just to get them their money argument off the table by their first referral, and then our bread is buttered when they give us a pass-up sale. So let's say now we can enroll these 3 people in the idea that a solo ad's pretty damn good business decision because you don't have to do anything. It's a great day one thing to do. Okay, the solo ad is just a great day one thing to do. We can worry about taking over and conquering the entire internet later. We can post the videos in the Facebook and we can go through those 45 hours of videos and all that, download products and stuff. We've got years to master that stuff. So a solo ad's a pretty good day one thing to do because no skill sets, experience, whatever. It's totally cruise control, hands off. I don't have to write the subject line, the body copy, the nothing. I just got to give somebody, the solo ad provider, some money and chill. My day is done. I can literally have a new prospect, and I did this today. I walked a brand new prospect who has never been in network marketing before. He's a retiree from General Motors in Michigan. I walked him through the getting started process in the back office, okay, profile, MasterCard, AWeber with the lead capture page, all this other cool stuff, right? And got him a solo ad in 48 minutes. Okay, so I got him set up, profile, MasterCard, lead capture page with AWeber, solo ad 48 minutes. So now, if I run a solo ad, and let's say Scott today runs a solo ad. Excuse me, I got an itch in my ear. Okay, so now let's say Scott, he's going to run this solo ad. Now what's going to happen? He's going to get 4 sales. Let's just say. He's going to pass one of those up to his sponsor, and he's going to have 3 left. So now all Scott has to do, even with no experience, is he's going to say, Here's what I did: profile, lead capture page with Aweber, MasterCard, solo ad. And I might be leaving like one thing out there, but I'm really not. Profile, MasterCard, lead capture page with Aweber, solo ad, 48 minutes. So in other words, now when he runs his solo ad and he's got 3 people on his team remaining, he can do all 3 of those people at the same time in the same day and walk everybody through it. Here's the link. You've not spent any money on your business today, so let's go ahead and invest in it so that we can make you profitable. We can get you 6-figure income in 30 days starting from scratch. So now those solo ads fire off, and now what happens? Scott's got 3 more pass up sales because each of these 3 people are going to pass up their second one to him. So guess what happens then? Scott has the same conversation the next day with his 3 pass up sales. He's going to say profile, lead capture page with Aweber, MasterCard, solo ad. And so he can, in other words, do you see how easy that is? I did it in 48 minutes today. I really timed it. And I answered his questions in his words, not mine words. I'm very anal about all of this stuff. I mean, the guy read everything. So, I mean, you and I can go back through there and literally do all that in under 10 minutes easily. But, you know, for a new person, I answered questions and hung out on the phone. So now but you get the idea. I got 3 pass up sales a day coming to me. And you're like, well, Jason, there's no way it can be 3 pass ups in a day because it takes Wayne a little bit of time to run those solo ads and blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's cool. So let's just say then, if I only get, now again, please keep in mind, I only ran 1 solo ad. And because today Scott was like, well, I guess that, so I'm going to run this one today and I'll just run another solo ad next month. Well, okay, you can if you want, but it doesn't, I mean, you don't have to. You just please understand that if you just can follow simple instructions and you take care of your pass up sales, that probably ain't going to be necessary. I mean, of course, I'm not saying that you should not. I mean, if you have 3, your results are going to be double if you have 6, right? So, I mean, right. So, but as long as you've got a system for duplication that anyone can do, then your life is going to be pretty simple. Magically, you stop seeing people posting bullshit in Facebook groups when they start making money. Money is the cure-all. People stop saying, well, I can't read this text because it bleeds over. You screwed it up. People don't get $100,000 in their pocket because they understand what's important, you know? Anyway, that's just 2 cents. So so let's say that we did that. We just assisted 3 people a day running just from these solo ads alone. Again, this is the only thing that we've done. I mean, we've not posted a video. We've not done Facebook. I mean, this is just day 1 stuff, man. We just ran a solo ad. He had already told me straight up that he went through his Gmail account and he realized that he had 1,800 personal contacts in Gmail. And he told me this. I didn't even ask for this type of stuff, but he had 1,800 people in Gmail, and he had 1,200 friends on Facebook, and he was on the wake-up call this morning with me, and he says that he's also willing to do videos. Well, now you're going to run a solo ad. Now you're going to teach this system of duplication to other people, and we haven't even got started on the other stuff yet. You see what I'm saying? Now, so we can that is a simple system. He's never done this before. In his own self-described words, he's not technologically advanced at all. He's a retiree, you know, from General Motors in Detroit. So you see where I'm going with that. If we just do that process for 30 days, that's a 6-figure income starting from scratch in 30 days. Because 300 or 3 sales per day, every single day, just do that easy system of duplication. You're not, Jason, you can't just get 3 sales a day. Okay. All right, fine. But let's just imagine, and for hypothetical purposes, that for just this 1 month, it all worked out. Now, and that would give us, well, 3 sales a day times 30 days is 90 sales. So roughly, let's just add 2 zeros to the 98, or $2 to the 98 and come up with 100. That's going to give us approximately $9,000 of monthly income just for month 1. Okay, think about that. Approximately $9,000 for income in month 1. So if I do that again in month 2, again, I'm just going through the day. It's like it's 12. It's after the wake up call. It's 12 o'clock. It's time to do this one little group call with my team and get them started today. After the wake up call on Wednesdays is my day. That's my time where I spend 30 minutes with my team, and you're going to do that for the second month. Then what happens? By the end of your second month, what is your income? 18,000 a month. That means you've made in the first 2 months alone, just by doing that one solo ad on day one, you've made $27,000. You see what I'm saying? At a minimum, because again, Scott's example was I haven't sent an email to my warm market, which he's willing to do. He was on me his thing. I'm willing to do a video, and I've got 1,200 friends on Facebook. Like, let's get this rolling. He's in action, man. This guy's in action. The numbers start to make sense to him, and he's like, wow, I'm getting $1,500 a month in pension right now, and I just wanted to be able to double that. And when I say, dude, don't ever mention that again to me, because I sincerely don't have time for $1,500 a month. I don't have time for 3,000. I don't even. It's not worth it, dude. Just follow what I'm saying, and let's make 100,000. Is that better for you? I don't want to hear about 1,500 anymore. So anyway, so you get what I'm saying. So at the end of month 3, so if we have 90 sales, 90 more, 90 more, that's 270 sales. And these, again, we just got 3. This is 270 sales by this time, that 267 of which have been passed up. Now let's, again, add $2 to 98 for 0. We've got 27, or 270 sales by the end of month 3. Which is $27,000 in direct income, plus the $27,000 from the other month is $54,000. And then by the end of month 4, you're pushing 100,000. So there you go, now. So you don't have to have the take over the world mentality. Now let's run this back. Let's say just the most terrible numbers ever, because the most important thing is a lot of people will get started, they don't experience these results. They say, Jason, there's just no way you can make 3 sales in one day. Okay, I get that it's a hypothetical example. So you will also admit that 3 sales is pretty shitty, right? I'll give you hypothetical numbers based on very modest numbers, so you have to be very careful. But let's, in return, okay, Archer, give me 1 second, folks. Let me find Archer here 1 quick second. Give me 1 second. Not doing this yet. Okay, so we're okay. So Archer says that he's got the database almost done. Okay, so anyway, so let's just say that I've given you a very small hypothetical example just based on 3 pass-up sales, or just the 4 initial sales that you made. Again, keep in mind, folks, this is totally free. I mean, and if you can just get people to invest financially into their business right away with this solo ad, and get them the MasterCard in the mail and get on the phone with them, they're not going to quit. I mean, now you've got a high converting offer with a sophisticated person based on that video, that now they've already spent money on this business, and they've got plastic in their hand. They're not canceling, is not in the realm of possibility. I mean, think about the psychology of this person at this point. You've already spent good time with them. They're in a Facebook group where people throw up group hugs all the time. They got plastic in the mail on the way, and they have financially invested in the marketing of this business that they got for free, based on this idea that it's so damn easy to make $100,000. So let's just say then that it took you, instead of getting it in a day, let's say that you only made 2 sales ever, not 4, but 2 sales ever, and that it also will take you an entire week to get that 1 pass-up sale, in order to like spend the time with them to run the damn solo ad. Let's say it takes you a week. That means you're literally having 1 conversation on the telephone with this person in a week, right? And that's it. Okay, I mean, really, just based on those numbers alone, still by the end of your first year, you've got $60,000 in annual income. Can you believe that? Based on the first example that I gave you with just 4 sales, do you understand that if you just did that every single day, just based, like, have a 1 conference call where all 3 people, you knock them out all at the same time right after the wake-up call, That, do you understand by the end of your 12th month, just based on that, you'd be a millionaire? Really? So if you take the mindset that I have to take over the world and get 1,000 people on my front line, folks, you're wrong. Just based on historical, experience, just based on experience from my perspective and what I've seen and analyzed and witnessed in this industry so long and for so many times, you'll probably move on to the next program in under 6 months or less. And that sucks for you, man. If you've never experienced a monumental breakthrough in your business, either mentally and emotionally and in relationship wise and especially financially, if you have been in this industry for more than 2 or 3 years and you know what you're doing, you know how to place the ads. This stuff is not complicated to you. And if you are still not experiencing that financial breakthrough that you deserve, it's probably because you've got way too much shit going on in your head. And you're having these conversations with yourself that talks you out of success because you think that you have to take over the world and it's hustle, 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 hustle. And you don't understand how easy it can be if you would just calm down. It's free. You can go to any particular person. In fact, I had a conversation with Carla yesterday. And, if you are, she used the word authoritarian, but I don't really like the word authoritarian as much as it's posture. And a leader. See, a leader, not only, I've said in the past, a leader is a person, a vision with a destination. Well, a leader also on a micro level, on a one-on-one level, will go into a conversation knowing that he is going to try to dictate the outcome of this conversation, or dictate the outcome of any situation. Now, that's not necessarily shenanigans or what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? And not means I'm just going to try to hypnotize or manipulate. It's not like I'm going to manipulate this person, or maybe it is, but maybe there's nothing wrong with like really good manipulation. Again, you're getting them to emotionally commit and invest into a futuristic outcome, which is good for them. They came to you responding to one of your ads, for example, or somebody's ads if you're running a solo ad, looking for 6 figures. They came through a lead capture page that says $10,000 a month in 30 days of recurring income. Okay? They came through that lead capture page. They saw the video. They signed up. So what you need to do then, in fact, or is to coach these people very deliberately. This is what we do. And if you're not interested in doing this, then okay, then I will send an email to Jason just to go ahead and have you removed. You haven't spent any money yet, but you're going to slow our entire business process down. And we're a team here. I'm going to help you duplicate this same result, but you have to just follow along this simple 3-step system. It's very simple. You can go up to somebody. Most people don't know right now that one of the fastest growing teams in this company is my hometown. And I make it very clear. I don't want their obnoxious answers and whatever. But I'm getting ready, like after this webinar, I'm going to call our dude that I played basketball with in 3rd grade. And in fact, most people don't know, but he's in the sales video. Right? So that's pretty cool. And that's all based on relationships, just one-on-one. It's free, people. It's free. And if you know these numbers, if they make sense to you, then you can obviously make sense of them to other people. And you can make them make sense to you much quicker and easier than by doing activity 1, the business and marketing plan, then activity 2, which was 6 figures in 30 days starting from scratch, and then understanding how simple these numbers are. Even if you just get 1 pass up a week and it takes you a week to help duplicate that pass up through this solo ad because you're saying, well, Wayne's slow. Okay. Well, Wayne's just Wayne. I mean, that doesn't mean that now tomorrow Scott will be doing the Facebook thing and the email thing and the whatever thing. The solo ad is just one form of traffic, one time, right? I mean, he says, well, maybe I'll just run another one next month. Okay, sure. Take $2,000 and get you 5,000 clicks. Imagine what that would do. But at that particular point, I mean, he's going to discover, like, if the conference call with his team after the wake-up call works, well, shit, he can host up to 1,000 people on that call and get them all started at the same time. Right? I don't know. So, I mean, that's just an experiment, simply because I just think that if people really understood the nature of the comp plan and the power of that free offer, you probably would structure your business differently. I mean, for example, give me a second, people, because I just got to make sure my boy's taken care of. Hold on one second. I had another conversation with another two ladies today, and they were asking me if they could do like webinars. Um, you know, can we do webinars with our team, and instead of like sending them to the website, or certain teams are doing co-ops, um, can we be different? Hey, look, people, like, yes, absolutely be different. That's what Mia was telling you today. They're like, well, we want to be a team and like all come together as NMVT. Let me just say this. I mean, NMVT is great, and I really appreciate the compliment of suggesting some type of like overarching loyalty to the company. But I want you to know right now, I got to say this very publicly to everybody. My ultimate desire is that you will achieve true freedom. And that comes from an authentic voice and a loving heart and a fellow service to other people, where it unlocks your vision, your own destination, something that is something, your creativity, your own form of self-expression. If I can help get you to that place, I really think that you and I will be friends forever. Now, it doesn't matter if you're in network marketing VT 5 years from now or not. So the point is I want you to go out, and it's about branding yourself, yes, but it's about like engaging with people, yes. Sometimes the quote unquote the system is fine for like massive traffic on a solo ad and people that you don't know and you just don't even know where they're going to come from. But when it comes to real true relationship marketing and connection, like Mia was talking about today, and engaging, like Brendan Bouchard talks about, and me, I just say, be cool, man. Just be, dude, I'll go up and grab you by the collar of your shirt and say, shut up, don't ask any questions, you're in, what's your credit card number? And I would do that process daily, helping that person. I would do that. And that right there process alone, whether it's connection, engagement, authentic voice, the videos, that's why Mia's stuff today was so great. I mean, if you just can really just talk honestly about videos, you can put it out there to the world. Do not be afraid of what people are going to say, think, or judge you. As most of the time, us as marketers, we really don't have this personal connection in a way that we probably think that we do on Facebook anyway. You've probably never met most of your friends on Facebook, right? If you're anything like most marketers, they're not going to eat you. They don't care. They're probably not going to unfriend you. One of these days they might watch one of your videos, and by that particular time anyway, you're probably pretty good at it if you just continually or consistently do it. Clarity, consistency, congruency, remember? So, and that's really about it, man. I mean, it doesn't take but just a small, small, small group of people, and then a duplicatable process. Anybody can get to. Any human being on the planet can get 2 people for free in 2 weeks. So I don't buy the crap about quitting, whatever. I do that as a service because maybe there's that one impulse buying idiot out there that just literally is addicted to putting their credit card numbers into websites. They exist, by the way, they do exist. That I just don't want to take their money, for example. And it's really just the way business should be done on the internet with a lot of these guru coaching programs and whatever. I mean, you want to prove to yourself their value, and that's what we do on a consistent basis on these webinars, the wake-up calls, the Facebook groups, and emails, and all this other stuff. But any person can get 2 people. Anybody. In the same day. I mean, if you want to light a fire under your ass right now, you and I both know that you could go out and get 2 people on a personal basis tomorrow for free. We both know that. And so then the question then becomes is why does that not happen for some people? And then the other coaching thing that Tony Robbins would give you is, well, we just need to ask ourselves better questions. We just need to uncover why we're not doing that. We think people are going to eat us, and they're just not. Curtis says, which exercise I joined the other day? Great question, Curtis. You can find it from the checklist of your back office membership sites right on the home page where it says the new associate plan or something. It's right there on the checklist. Are we supposed to see your screen? No, because that got screwed up when our database took a turd. If a person made 3 sales a day, that is $107,000 a year without any pass ups. Yeah, I mean, if you just never received any pass ups, RC, you'd make $107,000, and then you'd have 1,000 people by the end of your year that would probably quit, and you'd have to continue getting 3 people a day over and over and over for the rest of your life, and you're always working with newbies, and you never have a team. I would instead rather have 3 sales in one day and then get the benefit of the recurring income. In fact, your numbers are wrong anyway, now that I think about it, RC, because you're actually doing it as if you made 1,000 sales in 1 month. You're just doing it times one. You didn't count the 30 sales, or excuse me, the 90 sales of your first month and then roll that over into the second month where you've got another 90 sales, for example. So you got 9,000 from the first and 9,000 from the second. That's a total of 18,000. So just using my first month and my second month, I've got $27,000 right there. So your numbers are way, way off. In other words, you need to understand comp plan. You have to understand that that money grows and grows and grows because it's residual money. Does that make sense, RC? I hope. Why wouldn't you run a solo ad every day? Because Curtis, that is the take over the world mentality, and it gets back into like having 1,000 people on the front line of your team that you just don't have an effective system to manage. And now you're surrounded by 1,000 blazing idiots who just got started. You don't have the time. There's only 24 hours in the day, man. You don't want your phone ringing constantly. You want to develop relationships. This is network marketing. Network marketing is a very people business. If you do this right, you develop lifelong relationships of trust that work forever. I mean, that your list will be your family, your relationships, and that network determines your net worth. What is the actual link for the Facebook official NMVT site? It's facebook.com/networkmarketingbt. And again, I hope those examples make some sense in the compensation plan. Let's just run out with one real quick. I mean, and we'll hang up this webinar in just a second. And I'm going to answer some questions. So if you've got any, just put them in there. But now let's say that you have 10. I mean, Nate Forrest has dropped a question or a comment in here. He says, I love running the numbers and it always gets me fired up. Well, Nate Forrest can easily get 10 people. Well, let's say Nate can get 11. Okay, 11. And one of those is passed up, so he has 10 frontline now. Now, Nate can run a conference call, getting those 10 people set up right after the wake-up call. That can be his DMO. And he can schedule that for an hour. So from 11:35 to 1 o'clock, okay, 11:35 to 12, he's making sure that his new people are on that wake-up call. Again, please, when in this system of duplication, make sure that you leverage your time and let me do all the talking as much as possible, so you don't have to. In other words, make sure they get on the Tuesday and Thursday night webinars. Make sure they get on the wake-up calls. They will get the same information that you get. That way we're all reading from the same books. You know, we all got the same information. And sincerely, in the past, I've had big teams in network marketing, and I will ask them the first question when they call me with the question is, are you getting on the webinars? And if they answer no, I don't answer their question. That is their ticket to get to me. That's their qualifier. If they, and they don't have to get on the webinar if they're already earning $100,000 a year. That's my rule. If you're earning $100,000 and you're not on the webinars, I'll take your call. If you're not earning $100,000 a year and you're not on the webinars, you got no shot. I'm not interested. You're not helping yourself. You're wasting my time. I don't like it when people waste my time. I'm not going to waste yours. But Nate says, love running the numbers. Let's say that he's got 10. So now Nate might have this conference call, for example, and you need to have team calls, people. Like once you have a team of like 3 or 4 people, you need to have a team call. Mastermind with each other. How can I have a team call? Go to freeconferencing.com. It's the same one I use. You can go to SoundCloud. It's free. You can all follow each other as teammates. You can send out audios back and forth. There's a lot of cool things that you can do just as a team to really, because once you find is that those people will become very good friends. You'll become very good friends with one another. You'll do the three-way call. You're doing three-way calls with your friends. You know, it's like, it's pretty cool. It's the most amazing thing is like once you get to experience that true sense of team building and network marketing, there's nothing better in the world, man. There's nothing better in the world that you'll see these people at events and you will just hug on each other's necks. It's awesome. And if you're not experiencing that team-wise concept, you're doing yourself and the whole entire world a disservice. You understand the vision, the mission, the clarity, the purpose, the consistency, the congruency of this business better than any video will ever be able to convey. And you can convey that to other people on a relational level in a way that they understand. They can ask questions back to you that they can't ask to a video. Anyway, so now let's say you got 10 people. I'm sorry, I ramble. But so let's say you get 10 people, and each of these 10, in fact, let's just break this out over a 50-week year. A week has 52 weeks, but let's just say a year has 52 weeks. Let's just say, for the ease of simplicity, that we take 2 weeks a year off, and nothing happens. Maybe the database crashes. I don't know. So we got 50 weeks in this year, and we have 10 people on our team, and let's say that each of those 10 are going to get their first 2 in 7 days. Right? So by the end of week 2, I now have how many people on my team? 20. By the end of week 3, I now have how many people on my team? 30. And then by the end of week 4, I have 40. So by the end, I just got 10 initially, and that's it. No more right now. I mean, you can do more if you want next month, and you can grow your income even more. You just really have to develop these numbers out on paper and see what feels good for you. By the way, if you hear my phone ringing all throughout this webinar, it's because my friend that I was just telling you about that's actually in the sales video, he's calling me for three-way calls. He's signing more people up in my hometown. So by the end of your first month, you got 40 people. Well, I mean, if you never did anything else, if everything just stalled out from there, okay, now you're obviously going to have to sell the value to these people and coach them that it's worth spending that $117.99 a month, and it is a total. You get $98 a month on the product and $19.99 for the admin, and it's worth every single penny of it. If you don't think this coaching, training, and content and delivery and all this other stuff is worth that much, then give yourself a few years and looking back at this, and you'll say that was the most valuable product line for that price I've ever seen in the market. So if you don't understand the value of what we have on offer now, trust me on this. You're going to go to another program in 6 months because you're still lost and you're making shit too hard, and you're going to go to that next program and you won't receive half the value or the personal touch, or even the value of the product or anything. Period. You just won't. You'll find yourself selling cell phones, really, at the end of a move, and you're going to work your ass off and never make a dime. And remember when I told you this, I told you so. Anyway. So if it just stalled out after that first month, you just made 10 sales, 10 pass ups, you got 40 people total. Just please understand that that's about $50,000 a year. That's it. A 6-figure income is a total of about 80 people total on your team. And again, that rolls over month after month after month, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's a snowball, gaining momentum, going up and down a hill. But let's say now you got 10 people in the second week, and then 10 people more after the third, and 10 people more after the fourth. That right there alone would give you an income of 40 people total. Would be, wait a minute, make sure. Yeah, 40 people total would be about $4,000 in the first month. So in the second month, you'd have an income of $8,000. Okay, now you're just working on passive sales at this particular point. That's it. So you've got an $8,000 month, and then your third month, you're going to have an income of $12,000, right? I think so. Yeah. And again, that's very, very simple. So by the end of your third, just finding these numbers. I'm not even right on this. Oh yeah, because the numbers aren't as large because in the beginning we had 3 sales in just one day, and now we did 10 sales front line, but we work with those 10 people for an entire week. So this might be actually more realistic numbers for most people listening in, because over the course of your business, you can get 10 people. And as long as you just work with those 10 people and get them to duplicate in their first week, this would be your experience. Okay, you'll make $4,000 your first month, and then you'll have a total of $8,000 cumulative the next month, and then the next month you're going to have. In fact, no, I'm mistaken on that. Yeah, no, $8,000, and then $12,000 the third month. That would be your monthly income in your third month would be 12,000 a month, and then 16, and then 20,000 by the fifth month. By the end of 6 months, you're making $24,000 a month, right? You see where I'm going with that? And then you add another 24 onto that by the end of the 12th month, and you're making $48,000 a month. That's over $500,000 a year. Okay, that's over $500,000 a year if you just, and that's a realistic kind of goal. That's pretty much where you should be focused at right now, because everyone here, they either have a team already from the past launch, or from our launch in January, and now you got a free offer. So whatever the deal is, I mean, it's whatever. Anybody on this webinar can get 10 people on their frontline team over the course of the life of their business. You can assist now just those 10 people, never making another sale ever. Never making another sale beyond those 10 that are on your front line, and just simply dedicating your life in an attitude of service, paying it forward in an attitude of service to these 10 people, and then 10 more, and then 10 more, and then 10 more. Producing videos, man, that engage just your team. I mean, because before you know it, man, you're going to have an army, and they're going to love you, adore you. And we're still even talking about being a social media maven. We're not talking about being a darling. All you're really talking about is just managing the growth of your team. And you have to do that efficiently. And video, like I said, was a great way to kind of get the word out. Or webinars, just like this. Webinars, conference calls, video. None of that costs you anything, and you can engage with your people, and you don't have to be a genius at it. I'm not a genius at none of this, clearly. I didn't even make any slides for tonight. I wish I had, but you get my point. Curtis Lowe's, has anyone hit 25 per month yet? Yep, they sure have. Is there any visual on this? No. Even one sale a day without any pass-ups. No, that's bullshit. I'm not, your numbers are wrong anyway. A leader that speaks with authority. That's what I meant. Oh, very good. Cool. Okay. I heard today the influence and manipulation with an internet for the best of the other person is a good thing. Influence, definitely. Most people have a negative connotation, Linda, with the word manipulation. They think that the word manipulation is bad. But any type of marriage counselor, lawyer, a lawyer is definitely going to try to manipulate the outcome of every situation. Now, most people think that lawyers are bad. Politicians, same way. You know, we might have like this negative connotation with these people in authority that are experts at their craft, like lawyers or politicians or even really good salespeople. But Joe Polish's definition of good sales is the one I like the most. Getting to people to emotionally invest in a futuristic outcome which is good for them. And so, Linda, I mean, if you apply the word manipulation, and Dick, look, you just have to understand, they responded to your ad, they came through that sales cycle, they signed up for a reason. If we do not give them the ultimate goal and walk them through the entire process to the end result of getting them started and then duplicating, we're actually failing. That's a failing. If we're not duplicating our business, you're not succeeding. I just can't stress that enough. Success, true success in this industry is called duplication. And until you experience duplication, you are not successful because you're always going to be working. You're going to always be working. If you don't, and if you're always working, you're not leveraged. If you're not leveraged, you're not wealthy. If you're not wealthy, you're not successful. And you can duplicate yourself, again, through these videos, like Mia was talking about. We don't have to be social media darlings. We just have to be cool with our team. And that comes through team calls, training calls for our new people, and all this other stuff. Because it's not hard. If you're doing this, if you're going down the rabbit hole of trying to conquer the internet, you're doing it wrong. Kevin writes, manipulation isn't really a good thing, but persuasion is awesome. I agree with you, man. That's actually a better word. Persuasion. Getting people to agree with your way of thinking. Massive action. Jason, I love the recap of the oh, Jesus. Kelly writes, did the webinar just start? Did you come in late? Nope, we're getting ready to close. I'm scrolling down to look at the questions. Uh, so who writes that the NMVT site is up and running, and I think I might need to clear my cache or something to get it running, but somebody just said that. I don't know. Is the site up? I don't know. Dana writes, I absolutely love this concept. Thanks so much for the kick in the butt earlier. You rock. Many thanks, Jason. You rock, Kim. Thank you. You are really being an asshole to me, RC writes, and then he left. Well, dude, you've been in this community for 6 fucking months and you've not done anything. So I need to do something differently to get you the results that you came here for. Your math's all wrong. Anyway, um, the sales page seems to be similar to the one that we had before. Is there a problem with the sales page we had recently? Truthfully, yeah, man, there was. Conversion rates were the biggest thing. We could have worked on the glitches and got them out, but I just threw it up just to test conversion rates for a second. And lo and behold, the conversion rates went up 50%. So although I spent $2,000 getting that homepage set up, designed, I immediately scrapped it and went back to the drawing board to go back to the old one because it works better. So, yeah, there you go. That's it. That's all the questions I got. Hopefully this has made sense in driving this point clear and home to you. If it did, you need to take this message out to other people. And the other people needs to be your team. You need to continually like engage with your team. If you're not emailing from the back office downline emailer thing, I just noticed that since we've relaunched, less and less people are sending emails to their downlines to the back office. I don't know why that is. It's sad. It's tragic. You're losing money. It's free, people. Instead, a lot more people are focused on that stupid mastermind group, and I wish you'd just get out of it. Unless you're there to give. Go with an attitude of service there. Go with an attitude of service to your team. Go, and stop making it about you. Like, I got to get mine. I got to get mine. I got to get mine. Whee! You know, run solo ads. Whee! No, dude, run solo ad. Get yours on day one. And then make the rest of your business about giving back to the other people.